Hello my friends and welcome back to another Brotato Danger 5 random run, where we take a random character, random weapon, and try to beat Danger 5 with it. After my 62-0 on Abyssal Terrors, of course, the next step was to see if we could get the full 134 win streak, with the same set of 62 random characters on Crash Zone. Let's roll and see what character we get. We've only done the Artificer so far, and Entrepreneur, of course, is always an incredible run. Let's see what weapon we're playing with, and we've got the Sickle. This is probably the single strongest weapon for Entrepreneur, so because of course we get a lot of additional harvesting, and this scales off our harvesting, and it's a support weapon, so it's going to boost our harvesting, so really happy with that. I had to just briefly cut the recording and make sure I hadn't actually done this run, because it's such a solid and powerful run, so let's just see if we can go absolutely bananas here with the Entrepreneur. So, jumping in. I like the different color scheme on the map here. It startled me at the beginning because we're back on Crash Zone. It really feels great to be playing back on Crash Zone again after not doing that for a while. Now, one downside, of course, of the Entrepreneur is that you start with 30 materials, but the Entrepreneur just loses those immediately, so we are playing down a few materials compared to other characters. I'm going to roll here looking for harvesting, and roll one more time, and we'll pick up some more harvesting, and then we will grab this Sickle. We lose all of our materials at the start of the wave, so we're going to re-roll as many times as possible to look for good items. Coffee's a great item. We will definitely take this Sickle, and we will take this fertilizer, and then I might as well re-roll this last slot. I don't think there's anything relevant that we could roll here, right? Because we have a Sickle locked, and we've got two other items locked, but let's just see if anything sort of magically happens to show up that we might want. You can't get a second level 1 Sickle in the shop, and level 2 weapons don't appear on the first shop, so that last guaranteed weapon slot was never going to yield something useful. Just an interesting nuance of this character. The enemies on Crash Zone on the first wave do have more HP, which can make it a little harder to get extra money. I missed that tree in the center there. Here we are again going to roll for harvesting, because on the Entrepreneur you just want as much of that as you can get early. I'm even going to take 5 harvesting over 3 regen, because it's just so valuable for this character, and then we'll do another reroll. But I will just take 1 armor as a melee build, being in the thick of things all the time. We're just going to need a bunch of armor. We're going to grab another Sickle, of course, and a fertilizer. This will boost our harvesting even further, and then we're going to roll and buy another Sickle. Unfortunately, I didn't have enough to re-roll again. I'd really have liked to do that, but of course, with the support weapon tag and a weapon that scales our economy, we want to get the full weapon set online as early as possible. Actually, something I didn't think about. So, I usually buy fertilizer over any other weapon. Because over any of our weapon sets. But with a support weapon tag specifically, we're kind of buying 8 harvesting at the cost of 5 harvesting by buying the fertilizer, so it's possible that I shouldn't have bought this, but harvesting is just so good on this character that even that 3 extra is still going to be better. Usually, for almost every item, you're better off just buying your weapon set as your first, in your first 2 shops when you're guaranteed to see 2 weapons, because getting the weapon set online is extremely valuable. Fertilizer is the only exception because it pays off so well, but for a support weapon tag specifically, that exception may have an exception itself. So, just interesting to think about. Already up to 121 materials on this wave, which is amazing. I don't mind taking some hits there. As long as we don't die, we're fine. I'm going to reroll here and reroll again. I could start building dodge right away. I do want some defensive stats on this character, and yeah, I think I will do that, but again, just going to take 8 more harvesting. The more harvesting we get, the better our damage is, and so obviously that's going to be incredible for this character. We'll take another Sickle, and then we'll take a coffee here. Let's reroll, and another great thing about this too is that this is a weapon that doesn't care about our melee damage, so since the Entrepreneur's damage modifiers are reduced by 50%, it can sometimes be difficult to get all the damage that you need, but all of our damage comes from harvesting, so we don't really care about the damage modifier reduction that the Entrepreneur gets. Sickle does have 2x critical damage, and this is a way to increase our... we only lose 1.5% damage, but the crit chance still gives us full value on the Entrepreneur. So Insanity is much better for this character than it is for other characters. Alien Worm, I think we're going to pass on, but I'm going to roll here, and we will definitely lock Bag. I'm still going to take Corrupted Shard and Head Injury. Even at half value, these are both really good, and then we'll roll in case we can lock another Sickle. Our percent damage is going to be affecting such a high base number that even buying it at half value, it's still going to be really, really strong for this character. And we do want to be one-shotting things as soon as possible. Obviously, the number one item that we're hoping for to get early is Crown, because that would boost our harvesting even further. And then the normally powerful items like Fairy, anything that just gives us a bunch of regeneration is going to be excellent. 182 materials on wave 4 is amazing. We're going to recycle the lens. I don't have any use for range damage, and yeah, I'll just keep taking harvesting. I'm going to roll here. I'm looking for max HP or regen, but 6% speed means that we won't have to spend as much on speed now. We'll take the bag. We'll take all these percent damage items, so now we're up to 2% damage. Let me re-roll again, and we'll buy another coffee. That's perfect. I could take 1 melee damage, but because we do get 80% damage scaling off of melee damage, so we still can buy it on this character, but obviously we don't want to lose harvesting. So I'm going to roll past that. Padding, we do lose all of our money at the start of waves, but this is a very cheap, unique item, so it pulls it out of the shop pool, which makes our future shops better. And 3 HP is pretty valuable when our HP is this low. We're going to take another Sickle. I don't think I need Alien Tongue. Let's reroll. We'll buy another Sickle. And Injection do I want? I definitely want Penguin. I need to start building regen soon. Injection, I think I'm going to pass on because the HP is actually too valuable at this point. The main challenges on Crash Zone, so I'm trying to kind of refamiliarize myself with this map because it's been a while since we've played on it regularly. The main challenges on Crash Zone are waves 8 and 11 and 14. So we need to have enough survivability for wave 8, which is full of chargers, and that can really kill you. Wave 11, you need enough damage to kill the ribcage aliens because they will just keep accelerating. They constantly gain speed as long as they're alive. And if they get fast enough and you don't have the damage to kill them, you'll just sort of die deterministically to those guys. So you need to have enough damage to kill them. And then wave 14, you need to survive all the summoners. So those are kind of our benchmarks. I'm going to try to get enough survivability for wave 8 first, because that's going to be the first challenge we have to overcome. This is a great sort of reintroduction to Crash Zone as well, playing the Entrepreneur. Injection, I'm still going to pass on, I think, at this point. I'll still take a fertilizer. That's great. We'll roll here. Broken Mouth, a Sickle, and a Weird Food. I'm very happy with all of these. I don't think we need the Scared Sausage, but we do get a 11 material discount on buying it because we get the free reroll. So I'm going to take it just in case we want to go that direction. With the Entrepreneur, you can buy a lot of more speculative items because they still just give you a lot of value. Take the Sickle, and then I will lock Mastery and another Sickle. Ugly Tooth, do I want this? I think not. I really have not been impressed with this item ever since the nerfs. It costs you move speed, which is a pretty bad penalty, and doesn't really make you stronger, even against elites. Especially not for a melee build. On ranged builds or builds that can apply the slow further away, so it gives you more time to react, I like it a little more, but even then I'm just not that impressed with that item in general. I want everyone to put in the comments at this point your over-under. How many free rerolls do you think I'm going to miss? Because obviously you should always reroll on the Entrepreneur. Because your money goes away at the beginning of the wave, so you should spend it down on rerolls to see if you can lock anything good in the shop that's free, so you might as well. So how many of those do you think I'm going to miss this run? My personal bet is, I would say, about 8. So we'll see if I can do better than that. Let me know in the comments how I did. I'm going to recycle the energy bracelet here. Crit chance is good, but 35 materials I think is better. And then, do I just want move speed? Yeah, I'll take one more move speed upgrade. That will help out. And I could start building dodge. It's a little early to build dodge. I'd rather have regeneration or something. This is our level 10 upgrade. So I think I'm going to roll here and try to find just a more important stat. I actually maybe should take luck over harvesting. We have no luck, so this is a pretty good healing stat for us as well. I'm also, this run, trying a very slight adjustment to my audio setup, so let me know if you can even notice it at all, and if so, if it sounds better or worse. Now, at this point, I've got 36 HP, so I am going to take the injection and a reroll here. We will keep upgrading our sickles. I don't need Terrified Onion because I have 11 speed already. Weird Ghost, I just don't have the regen to support the Weird Ghost at this point. I do want more HP, but... and I guess we have Weird Food, but I think I'm going to roll past that and just find more important items for us. Take the coupon. We'll take a penguin. I am going to buy Campfire as well, because buying both of these gets me the free reroll, and these are both fine items to have, and just more regeneration is super important for this character. Definitely taking a Fertilizer here. We'll lock Poisonous Tonic. Claw Tree, I don't think I want, but I'll reroll. Didn't forget the free reroll that time. Hey, nice, we get to max on penguins, which is a nice alternative to getting maxed on pearls. The more you can get these unique items or limited items maxed, the more they don't show up in the shop, which is good because it's going to mean that other items that you might want more will show up more. In general, in deck building games or games where you're choosing from a limited set of options, reducing the number of options that can show up is going to make it easier to find the specific things that you want. So it's always good to thin the deck. It doesn't have a massive impact in Brotato, because the shop is quite large, so you're not increasing the odds of specific good items showing up more, but it is still very much valuable to do. I definitely took a couple hits there that I didn't need to, and put myself in a little danger, cost myself a little bit of money, but we're doing fine still. I'm going to take the armor over the regeneration, just to make any hits I take like that less impactful, and then we're going to roll here. I could take Lifesteal as well, but I just don't think that's important to this character. I'm going to roll past the crit chance also. I feel like we can do better. I'm just going to take 5 more harvesting. I just can't resist. We're going to buy out this entire shop, and then take our free reroll. Take a helmet for sure, and then roll again. I could keep buying landmines, but when I'm not getting them kind of for free, I think they're much less interesting. So we're going to roll past here. And then I will definitely take the Campfire again, because I still just need regen really badly. And I'm going to lock the Gambling token, because I can start building dodge as well. With 4 armor, we should be okay. So you can see why I say that Wave 8 is sort of the first real test. It can be pretty hard not to take damage on this wave, because there's a lot of ranged enemies, making you dodge their attacks, and there's these chargers, which if you don't kill them quickly, can start to overwhelm your character. Just there being few high health enemies on the map is always more dangerous, typically, because it can take longer to kill them, and you end up just having to dodge a lot of stuff. It also means that you heal less, especially true if you're a lifesteal build, but also for this build, where a lot of our healing is coming from our consumable drops, we have fewer of those because there's just fewer enemies on the field to drop fruits for us. Kill this tree. Didn't get a crate out of it. Too bad. Then we're going to run over here and pick up another fruit and keep on rolling. Very happy to pick up a little more armor here. Improved tools will work very well with our garden, so I'm going to buy this entire shop, I think. Even at the cost of 3 harvesting, I really just need more healing, so I'm going to take Blood Leech anyways. It's a little painful, but still going to be good for us. We will keep upgrading our sickles. We'll buy a Corrupted Shard, roll past the Goat Skull, lock this sickle, lock the Blindfold, roll again. We'll take Gentle Alien, and Reinforced Steel I definitely don't need. Let's go to Wave 9. Wave 9, of course, is everyone's favorite wave on Crash Zone. It always feels so good to play Wave 9. So now I can do an engineering sub-theme too, because we have improved tools. So construct attack speed is typically the thing that you need the most in order to make your structures actually do stuff. That's why the addition of Clockwork Wasp as an item was so good for engineering builds, because construct attack speed is just so valuable. Got our first curse alien here. They spawn randomly on Crash Zone. I believe there aren't guaranteed spawns based on the wave number, but I'm not 100% sure of that. Someone let me know in the comment. Like I said, I'm refamiliarizing myself with this map because we just played so much Abyssal Terrors. The great thing here is that this garden and our weird food are giving us enough healing to survive. Any chance I can kill this before the end of the wave? Yes, I got it right at the end. Nice. Toxic Sludge. I'm going to take this maybe because I do have the Scared Sausage, so I could start building elemental damage. It does cost me dodge, but I think that's fine to speculate on. The great thing about Entrepreneur is you can kind of just buy everything and it's all good. I will take some luck here, and then we're going to reroll, and do I want regen or armor? I think I still just want the armor. We'll find regeneration, and armor is typically more important and harder to find. We'll take the Sickle, Blindfold, Gentle Alien. Boxing Glove for 21. I'm going to buy that. It's a unique item for the Fairy, if we happen to find one of those, so that would be pretty nice. And the knockback is actually not totally irrelevant either, since we are potentially going to be doing some engineering stuff. Gambling Token, Blindfold. At this point, I have enough regen, I think, to survive the Weird Ghost, so we'll buy that. Not going to buy another Boxing Glove. Charcoal still costs me Harvesting, so we're going to roll past that. Weird Ghost does not go well with Celery Tea, because it does make it a little easier to take hits, but this is an Entrepreneur run. We're sort of just getting silly with it, so I'm going to take the Celery Tea here, and then we're going to roll. And this Garden and Medical Turret are both really nice finds, because I have the Weird Ghost. Which do I want more? I don't think I can afford both, right? I think the Garden... Oh, I can't afford both exactly. I think 2 Gardens and the Jerky is going to be enough, though, so I'm going to lock the Medical Turret and buy this Peaceful Bee, because it's an economy item. And so we want it earlier, and then we're going to roll and actually just lock this entire shop. Perfect. So I'm going to run towards where my gardens are so that as soon as they spit out these fruits, we can heal back up. With our tons of regeneration that we get from the Jerky. Definitely need a little bit more in the way of attack speed. I wouldn't mind a baby elephant or a cyber ball as well. Mainly the thing that we need for this character is regeneration, but the fact that we have 2 gardens and a Jerky, Medical Turret will also provide a lot of healing if I need that. Means that the regen that we're missing is just not as big a deal. I'd love a Pocket Factory, not because it would be particularly good, but just because the Entrepreneur is such a do-everything build. When you get a powerful weapon like this, you can really just go nuts and get the most ridiculous builds possible. So, being able to do engineering, elemental, and everything all at once. Oh, I missed that loot alien. I didn't see it there. I find the loot alien model on Crash Zone much harder to see. I'm going to recycle Reinforced Steel. I don't really need range damage or engineering, and I want to not reduce my move speed, which is low. Piggy Bank. So Piggy Bank actually does do something technically for the Entrepreneur. You lose the money at the start of the wave, but you will get the Piggy Bank trigger, and that will actually trigger... basically, it will trigger based off the money that you then lose, and so you'll be left with whatever small amount of money remaining. Now, you're always going to lose money off Piggy Bank, on this character still, but it's not completely useless the way that you might think it is. It's actually sort of an interesting question here. Is it worth spending... We will probably get like 5 materials out of it over the run, because it's just whatever we weren't able to spend on rerolls, we will get 20% of on the Piggy Bank. Is it worth spending like 15 materials just to stop Piggy Bank from ever showing up again? I think honestly it is. So I'm going to take it even though it doesn't do anything for this character. Do I want dodge or speed? I think we're very close to dodge cap, so I'm just going to take the dodge, and then we'll roll here, and now we'll take the move speed. Take the medical turret, baby squid. We will buy a sickle. We'll buy an incendiary turret. Barnacle, amazing, of course. Banner does cost me knockback, but we don't have a coil or anything. We're not actually building knockback. So let's buy the banner. We'll buy the sunglasses as well. Reroll past that. I'll keep upgrading my sickles. Gonna roll past all of those items, and then silver bullet's gonna be excellent going into the elite wave. So let's upgrade our weapon, lock a cauldron, and then reroll here. Fertilizer is gonna be great, and I still don't need the honey. So we should get off the piggy bank. We should get 2 materials here. So when we start the wave, you can see actually we got 3 because it seems to have rounded up. So we spent 28 on that piggy bank so far, just to remove it from showing up in the shop. Sort of like spending 28 on like 1 extra reroll over the course of the shop by reducing the odds of a blank item showing up, which is not an amazing trade, but given how high an economy build this is, could end up paying off because we're rerolling a ton. Go kill this tree here. Perfect. So now I just need enough defensive stats. I'm very happy with the Shady Potion. Unfortunately, it does cost me some regen. I'm going to roll and see if we can get some regeneration here. Roll one more time. I'll take 2 armor, though. Unfortunately, the armor doesn't really benefit from the Barnacle buff, but it's still pretty good. Silver Bullet's great. Cauldron does cost me regeneration again. The explosive turret actually will help keep the wave clear while we're trying to kill the elite. Let's keep upgrading our sickles, and I'll roll another time. Pocket Factory I do want, but do I want, like, Mastery more? Because that might help me just kill the elite a little faster. I think that's going to be the plan, is we're going to take the Mastery here. I'm going to lock the Shady Potion, do a reroll. I'll take the Dangerous Bunny and do another reroll here, and then lock another Dangerous Bunny. Items like Dangerous Bunny or Spyglass are really good on Entrepreneur because you are incentivized to reroll all the time anyways. This is a fairly difficult elite, but once we get it down below the health threshold where the sickles are doing extra damage to it, and we have the bonus damage from Silver Bullet, we can just slaughter it there. I could have tried to farm that elite. Because it's a summoner, we could have left it alive for more of the wave and just farmed all the enemies that it spawned. And maybe I should have done that just for maximum greed. Usually, I think you're better off not trying to do that unless maybe if you're going for a really deep endless run and just want to set up for that. But to maximize your win rate, you should just kill the elite. Most runs in Brotato come down to, can you beat the first elite? If you can kill it, you're almost always going to win that run, because now you've got a level 4 item to work with, you've reached your first sort of major benchmark, and this game is all about snowballing. When you get past your first main hurdle, you will usually succeed on later hurdles. Not always, but that's the way that the game typically works. I don't have any use for Pumpkin, so I'm going to recycle it. Robot Arm. I could take this. This is a lot of stats, even though we lose the HP. It does give us a bunch of melee damage, and the engineering is fine because we're buying Pocket Factory. I'll take 8 HP as a result of that, and then... Oh, I want both attack speed and armor. Let's just go with the armor. You can just never go wrong taking armor when it shows up in the shop. Buy out this entire shop, and then roll. Okay, well, we got a chainsaw. That is a fun item, and even though we're doing a random weapons run, obviously the chances of us losing this run are pretty low at this point, so I could just buy the chainsaw. I don't know if it's a fun enough weapon to justify losing my sickles, though, because sickles are just so cool. I think I would buy a legendary, but maybe not the chainsaw. I'll take the wheat warrior helmet mastery and then do a reroll. I'll lock Pearl here. I will buy the injection and then do another reroll, lock another Sickle, and that's it. Going to the next wave. The other case where Piggy Bank can be mildly useful for this character is if you happen to roll into 4 good items before you've spent down your whole bank on rerolling. So if you get really lucky in the shop and just roll into a bunch of good stuff, then you can get a little bit of extra value out of that money that would otherwise go completely to waste if you have Piggy Bank. One thing I don't like about this build is how reliant we are on consumable heals still. I just haven't found any regeneration that we've been able to purchase. I've even prioritized buying it pretty heavily. Once or twice I've took armor over it, but we bought stuff like Campfire, which I wouldn't normally necessarily buy. Finally saw that loot alien. I also want to know the over-under on how many loot aliens I'm just going to completely ignore. I'm going to take the Terrified Onion. My move speed's pretty bad. Nice! We got the crown! That's exactly what we wanted. Let's reroll here. Okay, we'll take 4 regen. Just kind of have to do that, and then we will take a Sickle and a Pearl and roll. Definitely want this plant. We'll take a turret as well. We'll roll here. Lure, that's perfect, of course. Even this late, I can take Weird Ghost. I'll take the missile also. I guess this cost me 4 attack speed for only 5% damage, but my percent damage is so low that I still just want to boost it, I think. Keep buying wheats, because increasing our harvesting also increases the base damage of our weapons, and then we're going to lock both of these items as well, and go to wave 14. So I ran towards the blue marker on my map in order to try to heal. Quickly, because you can heal really fast if that was a garden. It was the medical turret, but it still just healed me really quickly. Get these loot alien kills. Awesome. This is a fairly risky wave, but I've just increased my regeneration a lot. So I'm much less concerned than I would have been a little while ago about wave 14, because we've managed to build a lot of healing as well. Wave 14 on Crash Zone is very dangerous, though. It's probably the single most dangerous wave in the game. I think Crash Zone as a whole is easier than Abyssal Terrors by a fair margin, because you have a lot more money. But Wave 14 is definitely a run killer for some builds. If you... again, I just completely missed that loot alien until the end there. That's at least 2 that I've just ignored so far. Let's roll and roll again. Again, just have to get used to this this map again. What to pay attention to. We'll take Treasure Map, Broken Mouth, and Spicy Sauce. I'll roll here. I'm going to take this Cursed Toxic Sludge just because it's cursed. And we'll take another Sickle. We'll take Tractor. We'll roll. We'll take another Sickle. We'll take Metal Plate. And we will roll. Lock a Metal Plate. Lock a Head Injury. Reroll again. And lock a Sickle. My weapons attack too fast to buy Ball and Chain. We don't have a fish hook to try to curse it, so there's no point in locking it here. So I'm just going to go to the next wave. Alright, this is the most difficult elite for melee characters to fight on this map. But we're kind of ahead of the curve in terms of power level, so I think we should be okay. Because it backs off from you and it charges you, so it really forces you to put yourself in a lot of danger in order to fight that elite. Luckily, our damage is very, very high. Entrepreneur is also, it's pretty interesting for endless mode. You get a lot of rerolls and cheaper items, so you can find specific endless mode items more easily. But the 50% damage loss is a real penalty, and you lose all your harvesting in endless mode, so you definitely struggle to go for like really long endless runs with this character. I'm going to take the potato here, of course. This is just an awesome item. It's got all the stats we want. I'll take the snake as well. We have a scared sausage and an incendiary turret, so a lot of stuff that benefits from this. And then I could take more harvesting, but I think I'm just going to reroll for stats we care about more. We'll just take attack speed here. And do I want regen or 9 crit chance? I think I'll take the crit chance. Just going to try to kill stuff faster. Roll here. Oh, black flag. Perfect. Obviously very happy to see that. We'll keep leveling our weapons. And roll. Take a tree. Claw tree. Roll again. Banner and medical turret. Yes, please. Gambling token gets us almost to dodge cap. Peaceful Bee helps get us 1 short of dodge cap. I'll lock this sickle. We'll sell and upgrade to the level 2 sickle. And Bean Teacher, this late, is it likely to get me another level? If it is, we already have Barnacle. So I think that 133 for a level is actually a pretty reasonable trade. Money is cheap for this character as well. So the Bean Teacher, I think, is going to get us 1 more level, probably, with the 50% XP gain, even over only 3 waves, and is actually, therefore, going to be worth buying. And we'll take the fin here as well, and go to the next wave. That's only true because we have Barnacle, I think, so that's a really interesting case where, because the item is cheaper, because we're playing the Entrepreneur, and we have Barnacle, so our level ups are more valuable, the Bean Teacher, I think, is going to pay off. And 50% is just a lot of experience gain. We also have a million harvesting, which makes XP gain more valuable because each point of harvesting is giving us that XP. Okay, I saw... No, that was the healer. I thought it was a loot alien. I was like, all right, I'm gonna get this one this time, and then I just hallucinated it because the healers have green on them as well. Go kill that tree. This one's real though. Finally got that one. All right. I'll take another garden. Perfect. And then more attack speed. I think so, because we also have the improved tools. I will sell and buy the sickle here, and then I'm just going to buy all these items. I'll roll cursed stone skin. That's so much HP. That's just so much fun as well, and a bunch of curse. Alloy, I don't really need. We are going to keep re-rolling. I'll take the coffee. Riposte is actually a reasonable way for us to kill stuff, so maybe I'll take that as well. We'll take the muscly dude. Cursed tree is awesome. Unfortunately, I keep finding these sickles that require me to sell other ones. But I think I still just do that. Actually, maybe I take the dangerous bunny this wave and lock these 2 items, and then we get a free reroll here. Take the power generator as well. I'm gonna roll and roll and roll, and sure, we'll take a baby gecko. Entrepreneur with Sickle is probably not the strongest build in the game, but it's definitely a contender. It's probably in the top, like, 25 strongest characters in the game. Both in terms of your expected win rate, because it's very, very high, but also in terms of just sort of how strong your build is going to get on an average run. That's always an interesting discussion when people are talking about the strength of a character. Do you mean strength as in how often, or a build or something? Do you mean strength as in what percentage of runs are you going to win with that character and build? Or how high are your end game stats going to be? Usually when I'm talking about how strong something is, I'm talking about how often you're going to win with that character, not the sort of power cap of the character. Because overkill doesn't really matter in terms of whether you win or not. But a lot of people, when they're discussing the strength of a character, are talking about, will say that something like Streamer is an incredibly strong character because its end game is always going to be really strong, even though Streamer, I think, is actually a fairly weak character in terms of its expected win rate. So what you're discussing there, it's important to determine whether you're both discussing the same thing when you're talking about that kind of thing. roll here or pick up the regen here, and then we are going to still have to sell this sickle, but it's worth it, and then we'll buy some more damage. Even at 12.5% damage, our percent damage is so low that any boosts to it are very valuable. I'm gonna roll. I don't think I need energy bracelet. I'll take defective steroids though, just for a little bit more melee damage. Is that right? Nah, we don't need any of the stats that gives us. Clockwork Wasp is great. Oh, here's the level 2 that I could have upgraded to a level 3. I'll take injection. I have 123 health because we have the cursed stone skin, so I just don't need to worry about increasing my health. I'm taking this because we do have a minor burning sub-theme, and saltwater is a unique, so I'm going to pick that up. I'm actually going to take small magazine. We only lose 3% damage, and 10% attack speed is really good for this character. Focus, we will still take. Let's reroll past the level 2 sickle. Okay, well, we had to sell and buy every single level of sickle in order to get to the level 4, but we did finally get there. Clockwork Wasp or bait. Let's take the bait. I think that's just going to be more fun. We're going to go a little nuts and grab bait against the elite. And then I'm going to take Sunken Bell just because it's a fun item. I sort of lost track visually of the elite, but we did kill it very quickly. If I hadn't just lost track of it, and this is the thing with playing on this map when I haven't in a bit, is that my sort of muscle memory and my glance value, like the ability to, my ability to tell what is going on the screen just by looking at it with like the corner of my eye or whatever, is lower. And that's something that I have to play around. So it's nice that we got the Artificer, which was a great sort of reintroduction to this map, and then the Entrepreneur, where we just get to go off as our first 2 characters, just to kind of get back into the swing of things and remember exactly how the map works. Yeah, sure, I'll take this diploma. The stats don't really matter at this point, but it is just fun. Ashes does cost me a couple armor, but this is a lot of stats for the cursed ashes, so I'm still going to take this. We'll take the insanity. Pencil, at this point I can start building engineering, why not? And I'll take 12% crit chance, try to get to 100%. Let's reroll here. I'm going to roll again. And do I want armor to offset the ashes? I think we could actually get to 100% crit chance. And this does give us the perfect amount of crit chance. 6 regen or 27 attack speed. Let's just take the attack speed. And then we're going to sell by 15% damage. Again, our damage is so low that even that 15% is very meaningful. We'll take the baby squid here. No, I'm not going to level up in the next wave. Blood donation does just boost my damage, so I'm going to take this anyways. We don't have a triangle of power or anything, so we can just take the blood donation. We'll take a broken mouth and then roll. By the way, if I was planning to go into like a long endless run, I wouldn't be taking the blood donation there because it turns off tardigrade. As you saw, I had to pass that tardigrade. Not that we'd have taken it anyways, but blood donation turns that off, and so is very important to avoid if you're planning to go for endless runs. You just can't take the items that do damage over time, because tardigrade is your determining factor in how you can survive in long endless runs. Take the cape here, and we'll take gentle alien. I guess, yeah, I can afford all of these. Don't really need any of these. I guess the wheelbarrow just still increases our damage, so I'm going to take that, and then coupon. Am I likely to spend more than... So it costs 42. We would get 50 back from it if I spend more than 1,000 materials next wave. And we have 960 harvesting, so the coupon will pay for itself. Pretty rare to see a wave 19 coupon, but it's gonna give me a slight discount. Maybe not quite, because a lot of the money I'm gonna spend is gonna be on rerolls, but it's gonna be close, I think. If I get about 1,500 materials, then it should pay for itself. And we've got Black Flag and everything, so we're getting a lot of extra money this wave. Would have loved to see a hunting trophy. That would have been really nice. Because we ended up building a lot of crit chance. This isn't even a particularly absurd entrepreneur sickle run. And you can just see how strong this combination is, because it just gets so ridiculous every time. Alright, 1900 materials, so the coupon will definitely be good. Sure, we'll take some move speed. Take that. I'll take some armor. We'll take some crit chance. I'm just kind of buying things at this point. We'll buy the coupon first and take the wheelbarrow. Take small magazine still. Just the attack speed is still really good. Strange book, cursed, doesn't really do anything for me at this point, so we're going to roll past it. Ooh, cursed pile of books. That's kind of fun, given how many structures we have. I don't think the structures are going to have time to do anything, because we're just going to blow up the elites immediately. Nail, we have 56 engineering, so we've got 638 damage on our sickles. When we buy the nail, that goes to 662. So not a huge increase, but not terrible. It's still not worth buying the cog, by the way, with the 20% scaling. That's just such a small amount of base damage. I'm going to buy Broken Mouth. This is another question I get a lot with when I have Nail, is why didn't you buy this engineering item? And the answer is that with only 20% scaling, usually it is very inefficient to buy engineering to scale the base damage of your weapons. You buy Nail if you have already gotten a bunch of engineering for free, and to make sort of free engineering that you find later valuable, not to then buy engineering at the cost of stats that you might want more. I'll take all these items. Sure, I'll grab the snail. Anvil, it's a little bit late for Anvil, unfortunately. We'll take the baby elephant, though. I'm going to roll here and roll again. Little late for the starfish, but I'm going to grab the starfish anyways, just because it's fun. It does increase our damage as well. And why not? We'll take that. Keep rolling. I'm, again, just kind of buying things kind of at random here. Little more luck could give us more damage off our cyber balls. We'll take a bait as well. Take a shady potion. I'm going to roll. I'll take a tentacle, and Scar doesn't do anything. Let's roll again. All right, nothing here that we want, or we would buy a bunch of this stuff, but nothing here we can afford. So let's go kill the bosses. See how quickly we can do that. Oh, well, there they go. Didn't really get a chance to interact with the bosses, but that is the entrepreneur with the best weapon for the entrepreneur. Just one of the strongest builds in the entire game, and just yields incredible results every time. Let's look at our items here. So the early fertilizer, this was actually an interesting decision. I could have gotten the extra support weapon tag, but I think it worked out just having more harvesting early. 360 materials off bag. The early penguins were kind of fun. I would have gotten more value off the whistle if I had ever noticed a loot alien in my life. So this one ended up not working out as well. Same with the bag. Obviously still good items, but would have been better if I had been paying attention. 744 saved on the coupons. Actually 6k damage on the landmines, which is kind of fun. 5 gardens is so much healing as well. 34k damage on the alien eyes. Celery tea was good. Piggy bank, it shows us as having gained 0 materials. That's interesting. So it definitely gave us money. You saw it giving us money. I'm very interested as to why it doesn't track the money that we got out of it. I think it was probably about like 15 or 20 materials over the course of the run that we got from this piggy bank, but that it's really fascinating to me that it doesn't show the number correctly. 19 regen from baby squid. Obviously this item is always incredible. 19 levels from our barnacle, also an incredible boost. We ended up with 36k damage from the explosive turrets, only 375 saved on Dangerous Bunny, and we were rerolling it constantly. After the reduction in reroll prices, Dangerous Bunny is much less useful than it used to be. It's still a good item. I think it pays for itself much faster than Spyglass does usually, but this item, and the total savings is not shown on Dangerous Bunny because it also reduces the cost of future rerolls. So the materials here is a little misleading. But this is lower than you'd expect to see given how high an economy run this was. Lots of stats from Robot Arm. 389 extra harvesting from Crown. We finished with 1429. Only 2 items from the treasure map. Again, that's because I kept missing the loot aliens, I think. Black Flag, only 378 also. It is harder to build Curse on Crash Zone, so Black Flag is less overpowered. And anything else really fun? 0 damage from Cyberball because we just killed the bosses immediately. That's great. All right, my friends, I hope you enjoyed this ridiculous run. Of course, this is one of the strongest possible runs in the game, so definitely recommend it if you're struggling with Danger 5 or just want to learn the mechanics or just want to have an amazing time. Entrepreneur with Sickle is always going to deliver. As always, of course, if you've enjoyed the video, feel free to leave a comment and hit like. Helps me out with the algorithm, so I appreciate you taking the time to do that. And you can subscribe to my channel for more Brotato and other strategy game analysis. Cheers, folks. I'll catch you next time.